ぺの柄の一部で探し当て、第8ぐらいに乗せて帰ったそうです。変わり果てた亡骸を近くの小学校のグラウンドでダビに付したという話を聞きました。
My grandfather went out to search for her, passing through the hypocenter. Assuming that she had not arrived at the factory, he searched for her between the tram stop and the factory. At last, amongst the numerous charred bodies, my grandfather found her body with a familiar piece of material from her work pants. He put her on a hand-drawn cart and brought her back home. I heard that her totally changed body was cremated in the playground of the neighboring elementary school.
長崎市議会は本年3月19日の本会議におきまして、非核三原則の法制化を求める意見書を全会一致で可決いたしました。これは日本政府において早急に非核三原則を法制化し、核兵器のない世界の実現のために一層の取り組みを行うよう強く要請するものでございます。同月、田上長崎市長とともに鳩山市長および岡田外務大臣をお尋ねし、同意見書を直接手渡してきたところでございます。
The City Council of Nagasaki unanimously passed an appeal to enact the 3 non-nuclear principles into law at a plenary session on March 19 of this year. This is to urge the government of Japan to enact the 3 non-nuclear principles into law immediately and to redouble its efforts to achieve a world free from nuclear weapons. In March, the same month, Mayor Taue and I visited Prime Minister Hatoyama and Foreign Minister Okada and directly delivered our appeal.
この残虐な核兵器を人間が人間の頭の上に再び落とすことがあってはいけません。人類を、世界を滅ぼす可能性がある核兵器と我々人類は決して共存できないのです。
Such weapons of atrocity should never again be allowed to be dropped over the heads of human beings. Nuclear weapons, which have the capability of destroying humanity and our world, cannot coexist with human beings.
これからも被爆都市長崎の市議会の代表として長崎が最後の被爆地になることを願い、平和の尊さ、大切さを後世に語り継ぐとともに、世界中の人々に被爆の実相と原爆の悲惨さを訴え続け、核兵器廃絶に向けて努力してまいります。皆様方のご協力をよろしくお願い申し上げます。ありがとうございます。
As a representative of the City Council of Nagasaki, I will continue to wish that Nagasaki will be the last city ever to be attacked by an atomic bomb, to convey to future generations the preciousness and importance of peace, and to enhance efforts to achieve the total elimination of nuclear weapons by appealing the realities and tragedies of the actual use of these weapons. I look forward to cooperating with all of you in this endeavour. Thank you.
Thank you for the report of your own impressive experience and very strong message. We had understood well that a lot of local authorities in Japan seriously hold for a nuclear-free world. Thank you for the appeals of delegation of National Council of Japan Nuclear-Free Local Authorities. Thank you. From now, moderator change to Maria.
Yes, and move to the next session. From now on, we are going to learn from existing nuclear weapon-free zones. So let me introduce our first speaker, Alan Ware, Global Coordinator of Parliamentaries for Nuclear Non-Proliferation and Disarmament. And he will report on about the Civil Peace Forum on Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone PNND was held in 29th April. Yes, please, Alan.
Thank you very much. I give greetings to Mayor Taue and commendations for the initiatives that Mayor Taue has led on the Nagasaki conferences for the abolition of nuclear weapons. And greetings to Hideo Hirioka, Chair of the Democratic Party of Japan Parliamentary Working Group on Disarmament that has put forward the Model Convention on the Northeast Asian Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone. Thank you to the co-sponsors of this forum, Peace Depot, Peace Boat, Say Peace Project, Peace Network, People's Solidarity for Participatory Democracy, and Nautilus. Just the existence of this collaboration between those organisations is a very good sign that the collaboration which is necessary for the establishment of a Northeast Asian nuclear weapon-free zone is already on the roll. So I commend you very much for the collaboration. I apologise that I was late to this meeting and so missed some of the earlier presentations, but I do recognise a number of the people who gave presentations as being very active in the proposal for a Northeast Asia nuclear weapon-free zone. I understand that you would have heard from both Lee Mi-kyung from South Korea, who is one of the co-presidents of my organisation of parliamentarians, and Hideo Hirioka, who's one of the executive members of PNND, Parliamentarians Network in Japan, about the initiatives which parliamentarians in Japan and South Korea are taking to advance the proposal. PNND, Parliamentary Network, is working on nuclear weapon-free zones around the world. Northeast Asia is one of the most exciting and one of the ones where there is definitely traction. But we co-hosted a civil society forum on nuclear weapon-free zones on Thursday last week, which explored the other nuclear weapon-free zones as well, in order to learn from some of those nuclear weapon-free zones which have already been established, and also to learn from those who are proposing nuclear weapon-free zones in other regions, like Central Europe, the Arctic, and the Middle East. The forum was a full-day forum, and it was held one day before the Conference of States Parties to Nuclear Weapon-Free Zones, which was held on Friday. And the final report from our civil society forum was then presented to the Conference of States Parties so that the governments could hear the wisdom, the inspiration, the ideas from the civil society to feed into their deliberations. And you will see in a couple of days the working paper presented by Chile will include the final declaration from the Conference of States Parties to Nuclear Weapon-Free Zones, and as an annex there will be the final report and recommendations from the Civil Society Forum, which we held. Our photocopier had a little problem, so I didn't manage to make enough copies for everybody, but there are some copies here of the final report and recommendations from the Civil Society Forum. This was the second Civil Society Forum, again held in conjunction with a Conference of States Parties to Nuclear Weapon-Free Zones. The first was in Mexico in 2005, and the Mexican government hosted the Conference of States Parties. Again, it was just before the Non-Proliferation Treaty Review Conference. And so the reason for that is so that the work that both civil society and governments